Know yet that are we recording? We're recording. Good. We're having a little bit of fun there. Something new, some new recording techniques that we're trying to do for tonight. And we did promise sort of a PDF follow-up to our meeting last week, but then we thought, you know what? Why not just take a segment? Let's talk about the meeting from last week. So I was hoping, Cheyenne's here. She was at the meeting, and Tim was at the meeting, so they can kind of add their 2 cents. Tim, do you have your microphone ready?
Almost, yep.
All right, so you can kind of get your microphone ready, and I'll kind of go talking with that. So if you're watching this video, I guess that's probably because you were one of the insiders that was kind of part of the conversation that we had about the last Friday social networking event that we were trying to pull together for some added promotion. A request was made for a follow-up kind of minutes, and I appreciate that, and we can certainly send you what the agenda was like, but we thought, you know what, let's go ahead and just use the video time. So a couple things. What we did is we broke it down into 3 sections, the meeting, and it was kind of Hungerford, and then promotional activity, which was sort of common promotional activity that, different businesses are doing. So we started sharing that, and that Allie from Blue Toucan Studios next door shared a new email that she started this week, and you can see that out on Facebook. And then we went into a secondary meeting where we had other people who are involved with our business a little bit more step in, and we had a conversation with them. So we're not going to necessarily go into that on tonight's show, but we will kind of talk through the Hungerford and the common promotional activity. So one of the first things that began the show is, or a couple things I guess we should say, is we kind of had an idea about how we were wanting this to work, and we wanted it to be a certain way and have a little fun with it. It didn't quite turn out that way, but I think it still turned out well as far as a conversational format.
I think we both kind of expected it was going to be more of a stand-up kind of network, conversation, that type of thing, but it really was more of a sit-down meeting type of feel.
Yeah, and I really would like to next time get away from that kind of meeting feel. And I think the idea we had there, which was here's some topics, here's some quick introductions, here's some topics, 3 to 5 minutes introducing the topics, and then just time talking together, as opposed to trying to hold a meeting. Because if we get it, if we have too many people trying to have a meeting, it just doesn't seem to take the pace that we may want to see the promotional activity move forward. So we were hoping to be able to have a little bit different format, and we were hoping to be able to maybe capture some of it on camera, but that didn't happen. But in the end, the conversation we did have was good. It was insightful, useful, good information.
Yeah, and I think it seems that everybody is kind of trying to do the same thing. And if we can just start pulling all of those people together that are trying to do the same thing, we're going to move forward quicker.
And from the Hungerford, we had Stephanie and Jennifer were here, right? Yep. Of course, Allie was here with us, and we were part of that. So we had kind of that representation. And we had a few other people from in the community and other businesses that are trying to do some networking. They showed up. So one of the first things we led with, and we'll kind of explain it, is kind of why we're doing all of this. Somebody online mentioned it sounds like promotion for yourself. It is promotion for us. We are a small business. We are trying to promote what it is we're doing, but we're also, it's more than that. What we're actually we're a marketing company, a technology company that works with a local credit union, Lexington Federal Credit Union, and together we're trying to help facilitate community growth through entrepreneurship. So it's actually part of a collaborative branding effort that we kind of all work together. So then we kind of, Allie kind of said, what would like to kind of in general, what do we know that's happening at the Hungerford? We're just trying to really get a pulse of what's going on, because we mentioned that it's sometimes hard to keep up with everybody's Facebook page. There are some people that do a great job with that Hungerford Insiders, and that's a nice strong tool for us to continue using. And we talked about ways of maybe building that out, but just a way of maybe capturing what is going on in a manner that maybe at least we could share from here during our weekly shows that we're doing, and we could kind of put it out as part of our regular social networking, that kind of promotion. We went through and introduced some of the TV shows or some of the streaming shows that we're doing here to kind of explain the different topics that we talk about, because it's everything from technology to culture. We actually are, we have some series that are trying to explore the upstate culture. We're comparing it economically, if you will, to say Silicon Valley, where we look and say as a resource and as talent and as education and everything, there's absolutely no reason upstate New York shouldn't rival Silicon Valley. And we have some conversations around those kind of truths. So that's something that we're doing on the second Saturdays, and then we've got this open mic thing happening on Friday nights where we're doing social TV. We've got Thursday nights happening, and then maybe one or other two things. We've got an afternoon cocktail with Amanda Ashley, and in each of those shows, we actually have some time that we can do things like this. Like actually share with different audiences what it is we're trying to do, and we can kind of promote other people. So we mentioned that if tonight, for example, we had the opportunity to maybe promote somebody who was just opening up the studio for this week, we could have brought them on. But we need to make sure we're coordinating that a little bit better and the people understand it, because we don't want anybody to be offended by what we're doing. We went through something we call the flip book for a business, and this is just basically a very simple, basic product that we're bringing to market with the credit unions. And it's where we actually help businesses set their goals, go through some strategic plans, and it's how do you literally manage with a very basic flip book. And once we help work through this, because this is very intrusive, we actually help put that over to the computer where you can manage all of it mobily. And that's a piece of something else that we're offering. And that was in relationship to something we call Brand New You, which is a class that we've been offering out of here. And it is for small businesses to help them develop their brand. And currently, we've got 3 or 4 people who are involved in that class, and a couple of them are businesses right here in the Hungerford. One of the reasons we came to the Hungerford was because this is where small businesses were budding, and we wanted to help them bloom. So that was kind of our introduction and what we were trying to offer and bring to the table. We then went through the promotional activity, and as I mentioned, we had the free social TV spots for targeted relationships, and we had some conversation around that, and if people would like to know more, you're welcome to come in and we can talk. We talked about maybe some sort of thing like floor wars. Get some team, get a captain, some points, and basically it's like we gotta promote one another, and the person or team that wins, they get a glass of water, something. We had to keep it really fun, but kind of have that internal flair, try to bring some team kind of spirit into the community itself. That didn't, we didn't really have any absolutes on that. We shared that we have a couple hashtag campaigns, and welcomed everybody to jump on board because we do have some distribution happening on these hashtags. One of them is hashtag Entrepreneur Life, where we just ask people to share encouraging words about what it means to persevere and overcome in your entrepreneur life. Share that throughout the week. Just do a quick hashtag Entrepreneur Life, and that way we can actually start tracking through that Entrepreneur Life hashtag, and we can begin sharing one another's stories, and thereby broadening our reach socially. We have another one right now that we're starting, which is Cultivate, which is really oriented toward women, and it's really to try to bring hope, love, and life into our communities. We talked about on the Hungerford Insiders, maybe starting to share some quick tips on how to effectively use social media, types of things where we can learn from one another, find out what's going on, and just kind of encourage one another. By having a professional development social, basically what we did last First Friday, and just take 15 minutes and focus on a given topic, do some background, some professional development, and then again, network together. We had presentations, what we call Leads and Sales with Cheyenne and Allie as a demonstration of that professional development test that we just spoke of. And they both shared stories about how they were able to kind of move business forward in 2 different scenarios, or something that they had learned from another business person. So it was very good. We talked about some social sales that we have going on, where we're able to represent some other brands, and possibly if that made sense for businesses internally, that we could add that to them. Allie talked about her Creative Framing monthly newsletter that's going out through Creative Studios, and mentioned that if people were working with us to actually help this promotion, that she could on occasion include some additional shout outs for others in the building, based on their input and what's going on. And then we kind of had the idea was to have just a mix and mingle and just some conversation, and we did have that. So again, that's kind of our update. I think it maybe ran a little bit longer than I was hoping for it to run.
Yeah. Ooh.
How long?